In this video, I'm going to go over the student grades assignment here. For this one, there's some provided start code. And basically, your goal is to finish the start code by completing each menu function. Right? So in the comments of each menu function, it describes what that function should do, and you need to write code to get her done. All right, so I have the code right here. So the start code basically draws the contents of an array. In this case here, I create an array called grades, and then we use this max grade value of 100, and that just helps for setting the scale of this div here. And basically there's a draw array function that takes in the array and the max value, and that function's down below here, and basically I just loop through the array. I calculate the height of the array based on the max val, and this 600 is the height of the actual div. So it does just some proportions here, and then we add a div with the given height property to it. And then I add that to the container that exists in my HTML. All right, and then the way to make it look the way it is, there's a bunch of style sheets. I'm using flexbox and stuff like that. Where is that? Display flex, line items, flex n, etc. So flex 1, just to help style it so it looks like the bar graph that we see here. Okay, and basically there's this menu, right? All these different options here. Right now, if you hit go, it just prints out what the menu option currently is. But it should be changing. It should be doing what it describes and changing the array. And then because in this code here, every time I click the go button, I run the main menu, I get the selection, and based on selection, I call the function, and then I redraw the array. So inside of these functions, this is where you're going to start here, right? The menu selection functions, first to 40. So we don't really need this output. The only one really we need the output for on a couple of them. Oh yeah, output the results. So you can, when you do your stats, so you can print them out into the inner HTML, this output element here. I think that's the only one actually. All the other ones you'll see the change by redrawing the array, and you'll see the change. So first to 40, all you have to do here is set the grade of the first student to 40. Well, we've got this grades array. I'm going to do this first one for you. Right now it's 60, so I guess technically you could change it to 40 by going like this, but that's cheating. Okay, don't do that. You're supposed to, in this function, set the grade of the first student to 40. So we're going to access our grades. First student is at position 0, and we just assign it to be 40. All right, so that's first one done for you. You can test it by going here. First grade to 40, I hit go, and you'll see that it changed. All right, if I refresh, it's at 60. Boom, made it to 40. Okay, and then you're supposed to set the grade of the last student to 50. I had a little note on this. Make sure it works. I should have done this in my instructions. Make sure it works for any size array, right? Because you're going to be adding and removing things, so it should always set the grade of the last student. So the length of the array might come in handy here. Random to 100, right? Set the grade of a random student to 100. So lucky day for them. Add a random grade to the end of the array. Remove the last grade. Display the stats. So this is where you'd output in your inner HTML here, calculate the maximum, minimum, and average, and then output them. Count how many grades are below 50. Oh, in this one too, I guess, yeah, you would output the result here. Right, number of grades below 50 is, and then output your count. Change all the low grades that are below 50 to be equal to 50. Increase all the grades by 10, right? So you'll traverse the array and change every grade so it increases by 10%. And for this, you can just like add, if it was a 70%, add 10 to that, so it's an 80%. And then decrease each grade by 10%. So a 60% would become a 50%. And then remove below 50. Remove all grades that are below 50. This can be a bit of a challenging one. If you need some hints, maybe I'll make a video with some hints or ask me about it. Okay, so yeah, that's all you need to do is for each of these functions, write code that'll do what it described, and then you can test your code by simply checking that option and say, hey, did it add a random grade? No, it didn't. I'm not done yet. All right, that's the assignment. This should be some good kind of review of all the things that we've been learning about arrays, right? Accessing elements, adding, removing, the statistics, traversing, and that kind of stuff. So hope this assignment goes well. If you need any help, let me know.